Hey everybody, and welcome to the Charisma Check podcast. I'm your host and Dungeon Master Peter Johnson, and I'm here today to play some Dungeons & Dragons with my friends. Specifically, to my right, I have...
Carl Belue playing as Pip Hiltfray, a fighter halfling.
Oh boy. And then to his right...
We have Jacob Frank playing as Aizen Cruxis. We threw you for a loop that time. You thought I was to Peter's right this time.
Oh yeah, we moved around. Ooh. And to his right...
Nathan Wintermute playing as Hawthorne Flaxtop, a halfling artificer.
And then to his right...
Chris playing Lilith the Tiefling Witch.
Ooh, we missed Halloween.
Sadly.
All right. So, when last we left our heroes, they had discovered a terrible, terrible secret in the lighthouse.
They forgot the mayonnaise.
Yeah, they forgot no, they traveled through the dark lens at the top of the lighthouse magically into some kind of chamber. They know not where, if it's in the lighthouse or somewhere else. Within that chamber, there was a number of important things, but probably most important to Hawthorne, what appeared to be his sister, Tulip, strapped to a table. We also saw some kind of weird contraption that looked like a keg robot. There was a gnome man wearing brightly colored clothes who was speaking to another gnome who looked exactly like the person that Not turned into when he described who had hired him. That is where we left off. So, do we want to do some talking? I'm just going to leave it up to you guys. This is Dungeons & Dragons.
So as soon as we walk in the door and I see what looks like my sister, I will just step forward. Is there anything blocking our view? I'll just get in line of sight of the two people. Like, Tulip, is that you? What have you done with her?
Tulip does not respond. She appears from this distance to be unconscious, and you can see very dark circles around her eyes. You can see her skin is quite pale. Her lips are starting to lose their color as well. And when you say that, the little man who has introduced himself as Huber Grandshoop, the most ominous name for a villain ever, he says, "Oh, don't worry, she's just one of my experiments. She's doing quite fine right now, and I assure you, in a few moments, she'll be doing much better."
I don't think that's any way to treat an experiment. I'm going to start walking over to her, or dashing over to her to try to see if I can unstrap her from the table.
I'm going to follow.
Okay.
I'd like you to know that's my sister you're experimenting on, and I don't quite appreciate it. I don't know how she got here.
He will say, "Oh, that's your sister. That's wonderful. Would you like to be a part of my experiments as well? I'd like to see what might happen if two people with the same bloodline are kind of, submitted to the same treatment. I've never gotten to do that before."
I'll take a dagger out and say, "I've seen what's been coming out of this lighthouse. Hellhounds, ghasts, zombies. I don't know what else you've been doing up here, but it can't be good."
Well, yes, it's quite a wonderful laboratory. Wouldn't you agree? It's secluded. The village pays me no mind. I do practically whatever I want up here. It's really great.
Perhaps, but necromancy is not something to be trifled with.
Oh, you little-minded people always say these things. It's nothing to be afraid of either. They don't hurt me.
Look at our friends. Look at my friends. We just encountered your experiments, I believe, and we took heavy damage from them.
Well, to be fair, you did come up here uninvited.
Where was our invitation?
You could have written something. You could have, stood out there, waited for someone to report. You just barge into my house and start killing all the wonderful friends that I've made.
We didn't attack them first. They attacked us.
Oh, well, they don't know any better. Look, my point is, this doesn't have to be a fight. We could be friends.
I don't think that's going to happen.
So I'm at the table now. I'm going to start cutting her bonds.
Okay. When you start doing that, let's roll initiative, because he's going to do something. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so we have... what you got, Pip?
9.
9. Aizen?
15.
15. Hawthorne?
8.
8.
Oh, no.
Lilith?
19.
19. All right. So, Lilith, you see, as you're going first, what looks like this little gnome man in his sinister clothing and his little red fez is about to cast some kind of spell. But you haven't identified it yet. You have no idea what it's going to be right now. And you see Hawthorne has rushed over to try to free his sister.
Can I do an Arcana check to find out what he's about to do?
Yeah.
21.
You don't know this spell, but you know of it. It's called Wall of Force. It's a very high-level spell that creates a practically impenetrable barrier of pure force in a large area.
I will run at him.
Okay. It's not a very large room, so that's pretty easy to do.
Especially with horseshoes of speed.
Yes. And then what?
Well, we finally remembered you have that.
Yeah. I have yet to use this. Lightning javelin.
Did you not give that to Not?
Yes, you did.
Oh, yes, I did.
Mm-hmm.
Not will you?
Not's not here.
He's in the wagon.
Sad. All right, so spells.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. What spells should I use?
You can always hold your action.
But if I do that, he's gonna put up the wall, and that's not gonna.
I'm just saying, it's an option.
Moonbeam. Haven't used that yet.
Okay.
So a silvery beam of pale light shines down in a 5-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he needs to make a save. The Constitution.
Okay. He's not great at that.
8.
And he only got a 5.
Yes, that is definitely not good
Oh,
enough.
wait, he has advantage. He got a 14, which is still not good enough.
No. Yeah. So 2d10. Okay, so 5.
Okay. Cool.
I rolled a 2 and a 3.
Tis but a scratch.
Tis
All
but
right.
a scratch.
Cool. So is that going to be your whole turn?
Yeah, Yep, that's it. I am done.
Cool.
My minuscule damage shall be a reminder of what I can do. If only if I put full effort in.
Is that what Lilith is saying?
Pretty much.
So he is going to, on his turn, say, "Oh, well, I appreciate the effort, dear, but that's not going to do a whole lot." He then puts down his teacup. He was kind of gesturing with one hand, and he puts down his teacup, and then he casts this spell, which he manifests as a dome that is going to cut off, right over the table where Tulip is, in between Hawthorne and Tulip. But it's going to keep you in there with him as well.
Yay.
Along with this strange robot and the disoriented-looking, brightly colored gnomish man that he said was named Wizzy. After he does that, he says, "We can still just talk. It doesn't have to be this way."
You got more tea then?
Of course, yes. And he picks up the teapot, he pours you some tea in a spare cup and hands it to you.
Medicine check, or I check the tea.
That would kind of have to wait till your turn.
Okay.
So you can take it,
yeah.
I guess as a reaction. You can take the tea, but he'll say, you seem like a woman of the world and of some learning in the arcane arts. Why don't you join me? We could do great things together.
We are kind of a group, and it would just be awkward without the full consent. And you kind of have my friend's sister.
Well, if we were all friends, then I could let her go.
Moment to consider.
Of course. And he picks his teacup back up and like crosses his legs and starts drinking.
All right. Who's next?
Aizen.
All right. So it's just a dome that's incaptivating everybody.
Yes.
No, just
it's a hemispherical dome.
Is this the?
It's a 10-foot radius.
Okay. Is this that dome that we did at?
No.
Oh, okay.
You're not quite sure what this is. Lilith could have said it's a wall of force, but it's definitely not a Liamon's tiny hut.
Okay. Can I go up to it and do like a check or something to see if there's any way to get in there?
Yeah, you can make an Arcana check.
Okay. Got 16.
You go up to it and begin prodding at it and looking at it. It's totally solid. And you can see through it perfectly well, but when you beat on it, it's like beating on solid steel. Like it doesn't give at all. There's no sound. It's like pure force is basically what you get.
So they can't hear what's happening on the inside?
No, they can hear you.
Oh, you said no sound. So I was
There's
like,
no sound when he beats on it.
Oh.
Like it doesn't reverberate, or it's so solid. There's no movement at all.
Okay. I'm just gonna try this.
Okay.
I'm gonna drink a potion of frost giant strength.
Okay.
And what that does is it turns my strength to 23 for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to try to chop at it and try to get in there.
Just with your sword?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Make an attack roll.
And this is how Aizen's sword breaks into pieces.
I have a dagger.
Okay. That's going to be 20, unnatural.
Yeah, with your newly found strength, you rear back and give it everything you've got. When you hit the dome, it reverberates like down your arm and like shakes your whole body, and your sword just bounces off of it, and it kind of like the steel like wobbles a little bit because you hit it so hard. But it seemed to have done absolutely nothing.
It looks like we're not going to be able to get in there. Lilith, can you hear me?
Yeah, sure. What's up?
Do whatever you do not side with them. I know how interested you are in the dark arts, but now is not the time.
But he has good tea, I hope.
But he has Hawthorne's sister.
What is making arrangements?
Do not sign a deal with the devil again.
I was about to say, I already did.
You could be a better person.
No, I can't.
So, would you like to do anything else?
No, that's it.
Cool. Pip.
What is the floor made of?
The floor is stone.
How hard is it to break stone?
There is a table for that with hardness and hit points and stuff. You can attempt it, certainly.
Do you have
like
a drill?
Yeah, do you have like a pickaxe or like a big hammer or
I have
a dagger? You can chisel.
Are there any aquatic creatures?
Does he keep
none of these look like aquatic creatures.
Does he keep an underground aquarium filled with sharks?
I have a crowbar. Can I maybe pop a rock up?
You can certainly try.
Alrighty, yes. I'm attempting to pop a rock out of the ground.
You gonna pop a rock?
Natural 20.
Natural 20?
No.
Now you need to make him have a rock.
So you start looking at the floor, and there are these big stone tiles. So are you going for one that's like under the wall, or just near the wall, or kind of like halfway, like half and half, one on either side?
Half and half.
You go up to one that's like half and half. You jam the crowbar in the mortar and just pry back on it, and with all your strength, it starts pulling up that tile. And where it's half and half under the wall of force, the tile just snaps. So the half that you pried up just breaks and into a few pieces, and the other half is still like under the. You can see under that there's just like solid earth, like hard packed earth underneath there.
Does it look like the wall of force like continued where?
It's invisible, so it's kind of hard to tell. Unless you get down there and start prodding around.
Only a few more, then you can actually start digging the tunnel.
So I picked it up and it's packed earth. I will start taking the crowbar and start digging out some of the earth to see if I can get underneath that other tile.
Okay.
That is still attached.
Okay. Yeah, you could start doing that. That's going to take another turn because it's But when that happens, Hoover starts laughing. Oh, that will take quite a while, I assure you. It'd be much faster to just make a deal with me.
I will take my crowbar, sit it on my shoulder, and just sit crisscross on the floor and just stare into the bubble.
Okay. Hawthorne.
Okay, cutting the bonds. Tulip, are you okay? Tulip.
There's nothing.
And so I'm going to cut all the bonds. And
The dome went in between you and her.
I was
like
so
you.
I wasn't at her.
No,
so
it you felt it kind of push you backwards a little bit when it materialized.
So I'm going to slam my fist on the dome.
Okay.
Out of, anger.
Okay. Yeah. It does absolutely nothing.
So am I? Okay, so with that, I will whip around and just dash at the guy.
He is also behind it. It's kind of like
so
table.
So I thought I was inside.
No, this dome encapsulates basically the table. Great. Now Lilith, the weird robot, and Wizzy.
Okay,
we're screwed.
Okay,
unless we can get it underneath.
There's nothing I can do. I'm gonna fall on the ground on my knees.
Okay. No. There's no need for that.
Let her go.
I will gladly let her go.
Now.
We just need to make a deal.
I'll make whatever deal you need.
That's what I wanted to hear. I appreciate this man.
Hawthorne, that's not very wise.
So Lilith, are you going to do anything else? You're in the bubble with him.
Oh, it's my turn now? Oh, sweet. So I'm going to check the tea.
Okay,
make sure it's not poison.
I'll take either investigation or medicine if you're looking for poison.
15.
You pick it up and swirl it around and smell it. It smells kind of funny. You don't know if it's poison or not, but there's definitely something in there that's not tea. And when you make that check, you kind of look at Huber. You see his eyes are kind of glazy looking. Like he might be high. So there's
when are
something,
we not?
Some CBD in that tea.
So there's something in there that you're guessing is he's been drinking.
THC.
So I mean, if it were poison, he's also been ingesting it. Or if it's something recreational, he's also.
I'm just going to ask politely, what did you put in the tea?
Oh, they're these wonderful mushrooms. You really should try it.
So with that, I'm going to politely say, maybe at a less strenuous time when we can be clear-minded for these discussions.
We'll say, oh yes, this must be quite stressful for you, huh?
So I'm in the dome, so I will ask permission to check the Tulip's vitals.
Yeah, he'll say, yes, of course, you can check her. She's quite alive. Yeah, another medicine check.
Can I use my reaction?
Yeah. I got a...
Give her a potion! Potion!
Sure, I'll put a potion out of the shared pouch.
Yeah, okay.
And try to give it to her.
Okay, yeah, you can do that.
Nothing?
It's just a regular potion of healing? Yeah, you just kind of uncork it and start gently pouring it in her mouth. And you can tell she's alive because she kind of drinks it and coughs a little bit. But her pallor and her appearance doesn't seem to change.
Perhaps I'll ask what is this? What's exactly going on? What did you do to her?
So, well, you may have noticed some of these things that you fought have my own special little rune on them that I devised. It's quite remarkable. I've been doing a lot of research on it. When they're affected by it, it turns people directly from living to undead. But they retain all of their facilities, their faculties, all the things they knew in life. Unlike the normal process where someone dies, you have to bind their spirit back to the body. It's rather messy and complicated. This is much simpler. And this one will be one of my greatest yet. I'm going to make her a vampire. Isn't that wonderful?
A vampire?
Yes!
Well, why a vampire? Vampires are very susceptible to sunlight. If any slight miscalculation, your experiment turns to ash.
Oh, well, there's always more people. So that's basically going to be your turn. So he's going to spend his turn, talking to you, unless someone else... He's going to say, what I propose is, I love this laboratory. This is wonderful. It's a great spot for me. If you let me keep it, you can take your sister. You can even take Wizzy here.
Unvampirized?
I can't guarantee that. You can attempt to undo it, but you can take them. You can take Wizzy. You can take all the stuff upstairs. I don't need any of that. You can even take this funny little robot. He's amusing, but I don't really need him. And leave me to my business. Easy peasy.
Where are you getting these people?
Well, they were living here.
In the lighthouse?
Yes. Drawn Enterprises hired me to get rid of their competition. So that's what I did.
Well, it would have to be a unanimous decision, but I feel
of
it would
course,
be
yes.
at least fill 2 votes in on there.
Tulip's memories. Does she still have them?
Oh, yes, of course. That's one of the great things about it. She will be herself perfectly.
Does a Rolf Farlight ring a bell to you?
I don't know people's names. I didn't even know this poor girl's name until her brother burst in here screaming it.
How many people have you done your experiments on?
No, I'd have to consult my ledgers. I'm not in quite the state of mind to recall off the top of my head, you understand. But many. It's you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs.
Can you give us a moment to consult with our group?
Yes, of course.
All of the group, we would need Lilith.
I can hear you. We'll just talk on the edge of the bubble.
So I will gladly return her to you if that's what you want.
Absolutely. But could you just drop the entire bubble?
As long as you promise you won't do anything sneaky.
You have my word, I will not do anything sneaky.
Oh, all right. And he lets it go. Aizen,
All right.
it's your turn.
Okay. We need an right now. A very, very important
Okay.
Everyone get over here.
I will walk to Aizen.
It's not my turn.
We'll say if you guys aren't if you're not actually gonna fight him, we will kind of
This is, I guess,
suspend the initiative here so you guys can talk.
I'm not doing anything. I've already...
What's Hawthorne doing?
I'm checking on Tulip.
You can make a medicine check also if you'd like.
So he doesn't have a problem with anybody getting near.
I got a natural 20.
Oh, man.
She's definitely alive. She's still breathing. It's very shallow. She still has a pulse, but it's very faint and very slow. And it seems to be the longer you stand there, all of these things are slowing down.
Are there any? Is she connected to anything, or are there any arcane markings indicating what procedure has gone?
When you start examining her, you can see what looks like the traces of some kind of sigil beginning to form on her neck, and the outline of it looks like the other ones you've seen so far of the dragon skull being pierced from the bottom up by a sword.
Rolf had that, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I want to go up to Tulip as well. Can I do a check of sorts to see if maybe I would know anything about vampirism and if there's a way to reverse the effects?
Yeah. I would take either religion or arcana.
You need a black soul gem and...
So I'll be standing over here like, Tulip, what have you gotten into, Tulip? You shouldn't even
That's
be
a 3.
here.
You skipped that class on vampirism.
It was such a bore.
Oh.
Yeah, for whatever you didn't even get that
Yeah,
one.
that class bites.
Oh,
All I can say
strike
is
2, Nathan.
I don't know if she's a vampire or not. We might have to just take her out in the sunlight and find out what happens.
Oh boy.
Until we find out, I think sunlight and fire and wooden stakes should be out of the question for right now.
Anyway, Hawthorne, your instinct is probably when this sigil finishes forming on her, that this transformation will be complete.
Okay. I guess we'll huddle around her.
Okay.
How far away is she from?
The table is only about 10 or 15 feet from where Huber is sitting with Wizzy.
All right.
I'll look at Huber and Wizzy, like, over the shoulder as we're huddled, and I'll go, scoot back.
What is Wizzy looking like?
He looks like totally just blank face. Like, he doesn't look undead, as far as you can tell. From the outside, what you can see of his face and neck and hands and things, you don't see one of the sigils, but he looks just like totally not there. And Pip, when you kind of shoo at him, he'll go, and he'll stand up with his tea and he'll say, "Come on, Wizzy, let's find something to do." And then the other gnome stands up very stiltedly and moves very awkwardly with him and walks to the other side of the room, where they start looking at these like volumes of books and things that he has on his shelves.
Anyone get the sense that they're overly trusting?
He seems incredibly powerful. Pip, I don't think he's worried about us.
Hawthorne, I just want to say, all he has done so far is thrown up a wall.
Thrown up a wall and turned my sister into the living dead.
That's true. She's a vampire now.
And Aizen, must you not forget that this man has turned the entire organization that was here, that we work for, into the same undead or dead for failures.
Absolutely. What are you proposing? Are you proposing that we take your sister and leave, or are you proposing
I'm not proposing anything at this time. I'm just saying he's done a lot more than put up a wall.
He said something about reversing.
There is a possibility. Probably spell way above an arcane magic that is way above our expertise at this moment. Like
what's a vampire?
They got pointy teeth and they drink blood.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Vampires, to be fair, would be exceedingly rare, so you would probably never have seen one. You might have heard about them, but
I don't know much about vampires, but I know that Acadia is not kind to the undead.
Exactly. Him being here is a problem.
I got a quick question. Is this form of vampirism very noticeable? Like, would you say it's very noticeable? Like glowing red eyes, sunken in skin? Or is it
like... Are you asking what Lilith would know about it?
Yeah.
So I'll take an Arcana or Religion check for that.
Ooh, I got a 25.
Yeah. You know that vampires typically blend in fairly well with other members of their species because that's part of the point, to be able to hunt in, relative secrecy.
Masquerade.
Yes, it's a masquerade.
But
they do tend to have much paler, fairer skin. When they hunt, they have the fangs that come out. But otherwise, a vampire could blend in totally and just live a life at night, and people would never know.
All right, so I'll go off of his point and say she wouldn't stick out as much as like a walking zombie.
Okay.
She could live a nightlife, I guess you could say. That we have no cure.
I have a feeling Flaxtop wouldn't, appreciate his sister being a vampire anyway.
But he also wouldn't appreciate her being dead either. But at least this way, there might be a cure some point in the future.
But we can't just...
We don't know if it's going to work in the first place.
We can't just leave him here to create these monstrosities.
Well, we certainly can't fight him at this point in time.
You're right.
As you're all talking, Aizen, with your passive perception being 15, you notice that sigil on Tulip is getting darker and more clear. as you're standing around talking.
Where is the sigil? On the forehead?
It's on her neck.
Okay.
Like kind of the right side of her neck.
So she'll have to wear a scarf then.
Kind of where typically like a vampire bite might be, if we're talking about like Bram Stoker kind of stuff.
Quick question. Is it like a tattoo or is it like a searing mark? Like it.
Make another Arcana check for me, Lilith.
Another 27.
Oh,
25,
boy.
I mean.
Yeah, as you're examining it, it looks very much like something that's like magically forming. It's not like burned into her skin. It's almost like her skin is just being transformed, like the pigment is changing. But you do know, like most other glyphs and sigils, typically figuring out the right way to destroy them ends the effect. So you're guessing you know how to do it. With an Arcana check that high, I'm going to say you figure like if you kind of burn the skin in a particular way, like glyphs normally aren't on people, but if you destroy them on stone or on paper, it's usually damaging and it destroys the surface as well. So if you maybe destroyed that part of her skin, it would stop it.
So I will.
But you don't have a lot of time.
I'm going to disclose that to Hawthorne and say, go with it as you will. If you find a way to destroy the sigil, you could reverse the effects.
What? Destroy it how?
Searing heart flame, burn the skin, cut it off.
I can do that.
That's the quickest solutions that we have at this moment.
All right, I will take out. I have lots of tools in my tool belt. I will take out what looks like kind of a carving type knife.
I'm going to quickly turn around and walk up to Hubar with my hands up, just to mean no harm. And then I'm just, Hubar, can we talk for a moment? Just you and I?
So yes, I see your friends have figured out how to stop this. That's great. What do you want to talk about?
Why? Why do you do all this? What's your purpose?
That's a very long answer. How long do you have? Would you like some tea? It's really
no,
quite good.
I don't want any tea. I love tea, but I don't want any of yours.
So, that funny little robot is full of beer. Do you want some beer?
Nope, I don't want any liquids that you want to provide me.
I can summon some crumpets. Would you like some tea cakes?
Don't think this the wrong way, but there's a lot of vibes that I'm getting from you that makes me not want to trust you.
Oh, I understand.
I want to trust you, but I have a hard time trusting you right now. Probably because you're the inherent embodiment of evil at this current moment.
Oh, well, thank you.
Why not just leave the dead to the dead? Why
What's the fun in that? Why should we just let go because nature says that we have to? We're better than that. Look around you. Look at all the things that we've accomplished. Why should we have to give in to death as well?
Do you have a family?
I used to. Everyone living has a family.
Okay. How would you feel? Have you ever had children?
I mean, you've killed many of my children coming in here.
Have you ever had biological children that you produced?
No.
Okay. You've had a mother and a father, correct?
Yes.
Did they love you?
Oh, this is getting quite complicated. Look, do you want to take me up on this offer or not?
The thing is, I'm going to tell you straight up. We want Hawthorne.
Take the deal. I'm going to interrupt.
We want Hawthorne's sister, but we don't want you taking the townspeople, the dead, or creating whatever you want in monstrosities just to run a plague around the town.
There's like this little pointy goatee that he's like stroking as you're talking. He seems to be thinking, but like he's also just staring off into space at nothing. While you're talking, Hawthorne.
Yes.
What do you do?
Taking my tool, I'm going to cast Searing Smite on it to basically heat it up and whatever I'm doing to seal the wound. Okay.
What does this tool look like? Is it some kind of iron, or is it just like a brand? Is it a...
No, I was thinking it's more like I'm using the flat edge of a knife.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
should I pour potion into her mouth while you're doing this, just in case?
Be ready.
So you're doing this while Aizen and Huber are talking, and their talking is immediately interrupted as soon as you touch that searing hot knife to her neck, as she screams, this just like blood-curdling scream that fills the whole chamber, and you have to kind of roll the knife over a couple of times to get the whole area, and it leaves this kind of zigzag burn mark on her neck. And as soon as you take the knife away, she stops screaming and just collapses on the table. However, also, as you're looking at her, her color very quickly starts returning to her face. And all around where she was burned, it turns bright red. You can tell, like, blood flow is coming faster. She seems to be breathing harder from the pain or maybe from coming back from whatever happened.
I'll start pouring water on it so it doesn't, hurt so bad.
Don't forget about the cool rag.
I'll give a sigh of relief,
mm-hmm.
and then remember that there was someone who caused this,
mm-hmm.
and turn around with my still searing knife.
Okay.
And be like, you did this. We can't have you doing this anymore.
It's just, well, you undid it. What's the big deal?
I will grab Hawthorne's hand, and I'll just whisper, "Not yet."
He deserves it.
What can we do to ensure that he won't do this to anyone else?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. That's kind of my whole deal. This is my research.
Can you move?
I like this
Get out
so
of Acadia.
much.
Can I? Is that?
But Drawn Enterprises paid me to be here.
Where is Drawn Enterprises?
Oh, you don't need to know that.
Oh, I believe I would like to know that.
Mm.
Whether I need to or not is irrelevant. I would like to know.
He starts like rubbing his head, and he's like, "I'm really coming down hard right now. Look, if you don't want to get out, fine. I'll just leave. I don't want to do this anymore. This is becoming painfully boring."
I have an idea.
When you say leave, do you mean leave Acadia?
Just leave here. You can't stop me. You're not going to keep me off of the island.
You think we can't stop you?
No, I really don't.
I would just like you to know all forms of violence I'm officially against, since he trapped me in a bubble. I don't appreciate bubble trappings.
Are we going back into initiative? Is that what's happening?
Can I walk up to him
Mm-hmm.
with an enthusiastic smile and be like, "So, shall we share research?"
Are you being genuine?
Genuine. I think it'd be kind of cool to know this type of stuff.
Well, then make a persuasion check for me.
Persuasion. I am very good at that, given my Cambion nature. It is a 23.
He'll kind of look you up and down, and then he'll say, "Well, yes, of course, but what about your friends? They don't want you to do this. They don't want me here."
That'll be fine.
I don't think we're strong enough to be able to handle him.
I won't forget this, Aizen. He's done too much.
I will lean in and I'll call Hawthorne by his first name. And I'll say, "Hawthorne, I know what it's like to almost lose somebody, but he will stick around and will also be here. So if we get better or stronger, we can always maybe see him in the future."
It's a guarantee.
You do know where he is if he stays there.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there. I mean, just to play devil's advocate.
Can I do like an insight to see like how strong he is?
Sure.
Yeah. I don't even know if that's a thing you can do. Okay, yeah, that failed. I got a 7.
That goatee alone could be.
Yeah, he looks so kind of ridiculous, and he's so high and like so just inscrutable. You have no idea.
Hawthorne, do you want revenge that bad?
At this point, I'm seething.
I'm gonna pray.
Okay.
Savros is gonna hear me, but
Well,
I'm gonna pray.
okay.
Dear Savros, show us the fate that you have destined for us. What should we do? What is the fate of this matter? How should this turn out?
So are you just kind of standing there with your eyes closed, or are you...
Yeah, just standing there with my eyes closed, not really speaking out loud.
You have prayed to Savros all of your life because that's what you were brought up to do, and that's what you believe in. And every time you have prayed to Savros, you have heard nothing, felt nothing, because everyone tells you Savros is dead. But you know that can't be true. You're a paladin. Your power has to come from somewhere. And this moment when you're praying to Savros, who is... one of his domains is magic. So his primary thing is magic. You kind of look around at all of the piles of body parts. You look at the, what happened to Tulip. You look around at just this totally kind of dominated gnomish man in the ridiculous clothes. And you see that this is not... You get the distinct impression that this is not what magic was meant for the good people of Acadia. And that's the first time you've ever felt anything coming from somewhere else when you pray.
I'm going to open my eyes. I'm going to look at Hawthorne, Lilith, and Pip. I'm going to say, we can do this. Let's get them.
Press X to doubt.
So, what do you do?
Are we in initiative, or we just...
We'll say that would be Aizen's turn then. So, Pip, if we're going back in initiative, what do you do?
I'll walk up to Huber, and I won't put my hands on him or anything. I'll just say, hey, look, and I will take my crowbar and try to smash him in the face.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
What? Donk.
12 doesn't hit, does it?
It does. He's wearing no armor.
Oh, okay.
And he has not cast mage armor or anything because he was just sitting around high, not expecting this. So yeah, you hit him.
You turn into Gordon Freeman for a quick moment.
We'll say that's close enough to like a club. So it'll be like a D6.
Get it? Half-Life, necromancy.
6.
Wow, okay. 6 plus your strength.
Okay. That will be 8. 8
Cool.
damage. Right to the dome.
You kind of hit him on top of the head, and he says, come on now. You don't have to do that. So you get another attack if you want to hit him again.
Then I pull out my axe.
Yeah.
And I just hit him on the other side of the head.
Okay.
Or attempt to.
So
okay, this time it's going to
like
be 16.
Yep.
Crowbar and axe. That's pretty cool. Just imagine a little short person doing all this. Halfling.
That'll be for 6 damage again. Then I can action surge, right?
Yep.
Action surge.
Attack 2 more times.
I'm going to hit him again with the axe.
So everybody sees Pip just kind of casually walk over to Huber, and then it's just a flurry. Whap, 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 whap.
That is 13.
That hits.
Alrighty. 7 plus 3, that's 10 damage. Then I will hit him again.
Probably.
That's 12 again.
Yeah.
And that will be for 5.
Okay.
Perfect.
I just hit all 4.
Yep. All 4 hits. And you do connect all 4 times, but he's just like kind of moving his body, like rolling in a way to kind of soften the blows. He's not like anywhere close to being unconscious. Even though he's like a squishy little gnome boy, he kind of knows how to take a hit. He's got some experience. So is that your whole turn then? That's like
I guess
move
I'm
bonus
like out
action.
of energy.
Hawthorne.
All right. Immediately hearing Aizen's words, I am going to run at him while pulling out my crossbow and take 2 shots. Boom, boom.
Okay.
So that's going to be 19 to hit and 16 to hit.
Both hit.
So total damage for both of the shots is going to be 16 damage.
Okay. Yeah, they both kind of land and like blow back his cloak, and one of them almost knocks the fez off of his head. And he's like, "Oh no, why? That's just rude."
And I'll say, "This is wrong. You must be stopped."
He doesn't even say anything to that. Lilith, what do you do?
Alrighty. The phantasmal force.
Okay.
Back to that.
He casts Counterspell.
Counterspell.
Yep.
I wish you wouldn't have.
He just immediately, he doesn't even care what you're casting. He just kind of like, just waves his hand, and whatever you were going to do, he just stops it.
Oh. That's depressing. Alright.
Stab him.
Well, the spell is still in action, even though it's counterspelled. So, if you have a bonus action, you can do that.
Just gonna look at him like, darn it.
He just like winks at you.
Alrighty.
And it's his turn. He's going to say, "Oh, I should have known better. To drink these mushroom tea, I just enjoy it so much. Well, whatever. You can have it." And you see him begin to cast another spell. And then he's just gone. Effectively, he casts Time Stop. So he actually does some other things and then disappears. But you don't see any of that. He's gone. And when he disappears, the Wizzy kind of like shakes out of it, and like his eyes start coming to, and he's like, "Oh, what happened?"
Is Tulip there?
Yes, she is still unconscious.
The robot?
The robot is still there.
And can I do like a perception check to see if anything changed in the room?
Yeah.
How's Charles?
Is Charles there? Is Charles there? Amazing perception, so it's 16.
You can see some spaces on the bookshelf are gone. Like there's some books and scrolls and things missing. You can tell there's some like spaces where things were on tables that are gone. The tarantula's gone.
No! I hate you, Peter.
But as far as you can tell, that's really all that's happened.
Well, you're the one that chose to fight.
I quit the podcast.
I was only in it for the spiders.
Yeah. So effectively, we're out of initiative.
So I'm going to, like, if time was stopped, then basically I'm going to just continue my momentum to where he was.
Yeah. He just kind of screeched to a halt. Yeah, seeing he's gone.
Panting, looking around wildly. Where did he go?
I'm going to go up to Tulip and check on her, see if she's all right.
Okay.
She just had.
Yeah, you can make another medicine check.
That is going to be 16.
She looks significantly better.
Okay.
Her color is pretty much returned. She's breathing regularly. Aside from the, kind of scar on her neck now, she looks, you're guessing, like a normal, healthy halfling lady. Okay. And you can see now that you take stock of her appearance, you have time to kind of look at her. She's wearing what looks like some kind of leather armor that's been dyed black. She has on like her pauldrons, the Flaxtop crest is kind of embossed on the pauldrons. She's got that kind of undercut where one side is shaved, and she's got the longer hair flopped to one side. But her face looks remarkably like Hawthorne. Like you're guessing that's why the guy back at the general store recognized him, because if you didn't know any better, you would think they were twins.
Are you twins?
No.
No.
But that means she's super attractive.
And she has a beautiful voice.
We can't hear that right now.
Yeah, you will.
I'm going to pick her up and say we need to get out of here.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd like to do a hurried look around the room, see if I can find any notes.
Okay.
I'll also do that.
Okay. Cool. I'll take investigation checks from anybody looking around.
Oh, he got a nat 20, and I got a 20 also.
Okay. Yeah, you find lots of alchemical paraphernalia, lots of things that would probably be pretty valuable. Like, there's basically a full alchemy set. There's bookcases with tomes that contain lots of kind of arcane lore in general, mostly about necromancy and about medicine and about arcane theory. You also find the keg robot, which kind of like just looks around at you guys. It's just standing there, and as it like moves around, you can hear sloshing in it, and it's it looks very very goofy. It basically looks kind of like a dwarven man with a keg for a body and a spigot at the bottom that's very unfortunately placed. But
the fact that he's showing us this is out of the Acquisitions Incorporated book means that, so I actually haven't looked at it, but this means that Keg Robot wasn't Peter's creation.
No, this was not my creation. No, this was devised by Christopher Perkins, my Dungeon Master dad, my real DM dad. Chris Perkins, if you ever hear this, I love you.
Peter wants to be adopted.
Yeah.
How much stuff how much like books and research that I can make it out with?
As much as you can carry. I mean,
Here, shovel it into the horde person.
Yeah, you could shovel it on the horde's person bag.
All the books.
Okay. Yeah.
Are there any mushrooms?
Yeah, there's some in this tea.
Is there some tea left?
Because I still have.
There is tea left.
I didn't drink mine.
I will take the tea and put it in a canteen because I still have my squirt berries. I'm collecting everything.
He said something about upstairs. Should we go investigate? Is there an upstairs
That's why
here?
I was sad. But yes, books about the necromancy, all that stuff. That'd be interesting.
You also figure out how you're supposed to get out of here, because there is a kind of panel that's on the wall that has some sigils around it that you recognize as like a teleportation panel. That if you like put your hands on it and activate it, it will teleport you to where the other end is, which you're guessing is the lens.
Okay, well, yeah, like I said, the books about the necromancy. If we do, well, we are going to be fighting him, I guess. It'll be good to have knowledge about what he's been up to. Maybe we can counteract it somehow.
This has to stop.
So, yeah. Oh, I don't think I have an alchemy thing. I'll grab that.
There's also all kinds of interesting things. There's an alchemist supplies, there's carpenter's tools, there's an herbalism kit, a poisoner's kit, thieves' tools, tinker's tools. It looks like he had everything down here to do.
Are all these stuff like portable? Or is this just like...
I mean, yeah, they're portable enough. You know, like you can... It's not like big anvils and stuff like that.
You said you have an infinite storage bag or whatever, right? Let's just take it all.
There's also... do you notice hanging on a hook, like on the wall by the teleportation panel, there is a cloak that looks real fancy.
Can I do an Arcana check on it?
Yeah.
Is it a... Oh, yes, I got a 27.
It's a cloak of the manta ray.
What?
Yeah, cloak of the manta ray.
Can I figure out what that is?
Yeah, you know that basically if you wear it, it can give you like a swim speed, like a high swim speed. You can breathe underwater, and it looks very much like if you were to spread it out, it looks like a manta ray's big, kind of fins, and the hood has kind of like a manta ray looking, hood on it. So it has like a short tail at the back of the cloak.
So Pip,
how big is the cloak?
It's gnome sized, or like kind of smaller. Person size. You're guessing it was Huber's, somebody's.
Would you actually officially like to be Aquaman?
I'll put my toolbar or my crowbar back.
Your
in
toolbar?
Yeah, my toolbar. And I will take the cloak from you.
Well, I mean, I didn't take it. I just examined it, but you can take it off the hook.
I will take the cloak from the hook.
Besides, if you took it from me, you could use please and thank you.
Oh, boy.
All right, so now we have Aquaman in our party.
I have all that other stuff on too. I'll take that off. All the colorful, like the hat and the other clothes.
Oh, yeah, you were wearing the Wizzy, very fabulous outfit, weren't you?
Well, let's go.
Speaking of Wizzy, are you alright?
I have no idea what happened. Where am I?
What's the last thing you remember, Wizzy?
I just remember everyone saying, "Oh, there's people here. We're being attacked." And then the next thing I knew, I was down here.
Don't remember anything?
No.
Wizzy, are you a member of Acquisitions Incorporated?
Yes, I am. This is our base of operation.
When were you recruited?
Oh, it was a couple of months ago.
Just to prove, I'll show him my spyglass that has our logo on it.
Mm-hmm.
Just to,
This is
associate ourselves with
we're
them.
members as well.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, did they send you to save me?
We were told that we were the only members of the Acquisitions Incorporated.
Well, that's what we were told, too.
Except we were only put here recently within the last week or two.
Oh, that's...
So Acquisition Incorporated forgot about you.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, we've been working, sending the money.
When's the last time you spoke to anybody from Acquisitions?
Well, we have a documancer, but
Maybe not anymore.
how are all the people? What happened? And then he looks over at the pile of body parts and he goes, "Oh, well,
They're in a better place. Permanently.
Heavens to Murgatroyd!" This is really bad. Let's just get out of here. I don't even know where this is. Are we in the lighthouse?
Yes.
Yes, we are, well,
We're connected.
somehow, we are, well,
We're in a pocket dimension located within the lens of your lighthouse.
Okay.
it's quite possible that once we teleport out of here, we won't be in the lighthouse.
We better be. I've got a yak waiting for me.
Can't forget about not waiting outside.
We don't care about your boyfriend.
We don't care about your spider.
Oh, that's
Tears.
fresh. Dude.
Tears come down.
So let's try to exit.
Let's leave.
All right, so yeah,
Or
we
hellhounds.
grabbed everything, right?
I mean,
Holding on to
yeah.
tulip.
So, you guys can touch the teleportation panel. When you do, you kind of are ejected through the lens upstairs at the top of the lighthouse.
Perhaps we should make like
you know what I mean.
Perhaps we should make like an order, like wait 3 seconds in case we don't fall into each other. I'm just imagining like you come out and he's like, "Oh wow, I'm right on the edge of a ledge."
Push Lilith through.
So,
You're thinking too hard.
TV tells me that no matter if you have an order or not, you're all going to fall into a pile of each other.
So, then you guys leave. Are you going to do anything else to the lighthouse, or are you basically just...
Is it daylight outside?
Yes, because you got there early in the morning.
Is she fine? Is Tulip fine?
As far as you can tell, yeah.
Okay.
I'll look at the top and see if I can still see Knot and Dunk around. I know they were hiding, but
Yeah, you can see them. A little ways off where you left them.
How long would you say would be our fight and everything? They weren't like out there all day, were they?
No, I mean it was probably only a couple hours because you went in, you fought the ghosts, you fought the gas, other G things. You took a short rest, went back up, talked to him for a while, but that didn't take terribly long.
Yeah.
Stole all the stuff that was down there, so maybe 2-3 hours.
And also, I want to check the stairs and see if the runes are still on them when we start to head back down them.
Yes, they're still there.
I'm actually going to go up to Hawthorne. Hawthorne, hold Tulip for a minute. Give it to her. And
You're
then
doing such a good job.
with the potion of Froststride straight still, I'm going to chop that. I'm going to drop the shield two-handed, chop at the light to just destroy it.
Why? This would be an interesting place for us to use if we ever need it.
He could return.
We stole all of his stuff.
I'm chopping.
Okay. Yeah, you can. If you just take the time to do it, you can destroy the lens for the lighthouse.
Okay.
Breaking all my amazing secret workshops.
Yeah, Lilith is just crying as you're smashing this magical lens.
Lilith, I promise we will make you a workshop in the manor. But here in this lighthouse, it's full of dark, horrible things. We can't let anyone return back here.
A little bit of Febreze and it'd be better. All right.
Are you good, Hawthorne, or do you want me to carry her?
Please.
Okay.
Please carry her.
How hard would it be to jump down the stairs and not get hurt?
Oh, wait. By the way, we need to remember the runes.
It would be easier to jump down than to jump up.
Hey, don't forget about the runes on the stairs that trap.
Yeah. But, I mean, you guys can avoid it if you take your time and plan. I won't make you have to do that again.
I can just imagine Pep just sliding down the rails like, whee!
So then you just you ignore the hellhounds, so they still seem to be trapped in there.
Yep.
Go all the way down.
Sure, let's destroy the empty magical room, but leave the hellhound beasts to their rampage.
They'll die eventually. They have no food.
You don't know that. With my demonic knowledge, would I know hellhounds starve?
As far as you know, no, they don't.
Yes. So they're still going to be there.
Maybe forever.
So,
why don't you go over there?
I want to go and attack the hellhounds, but I know that we shouldn't, just for time's sake.
Just remember, I was resistant to fire, and I still took half health.
If they're trapped there, you can go back.
Can I make an animal handling check with the hellhounds?
No, they're not animals. I will tell you that.
Good fire puppy.
They look like animals, yeah, but they are not. They're fiends.
Okay.
You can always.
Can I make a fiend handling check?
I think that's called stabbing. For you. I don't think.
I was about to say, my character is technically a succubus. Would that work out? Could I have a pet hellhound?
There's nothing really of interest in that room, anyways, is there?
No.
Yeah, that was it.
Just the dogs.
They wouldn't recognize any demonic heritage or anything.
Maybe, but they just seem angry. Like they're.
I'll shoot them the deuces and keep going downstairs.
Yeah. You have more important things to worry about right now.
Yeah.
You can come back for them. So
let us make our place the evil lair with hellhounds and
I've played too many RPGs where like any decision you make affects you, and we're leaving these hellhounds here. I just imagine we're gonna come back and the town is just gonna be demolished because
it's just gonna be like
hellhounds just ate it.
It's just gonna be like a bounty board. Like 2 hellhounds are rampaging through the outskirts of the city. It's like, oh well. We should have killed him.
We'll return to Knot, I guess.
Okay, yeah, he's there with the cart, and you collect Dunk on your way back down. He'll look at you guys and say, "What's happened? Why? Who is this?" And points at Tulip.
This is my sister.
Oh, I do see the resemblance.
Apparently, she'd been captured.
Well, I'm glad that you saved her.
She needs a good night's rest.
Well, yes, and is there anything else to do? Should we go? Or?
How long is the manor out? I can't remember.
What I mean is, are we fleeing, or do we...
No.
Are they chasing us?
It's kind of like...
No, we're fine.
We're at a leisure.
Excellent.
We don't... A lot of stuff happened. Basically, a necromancer was up there. He was creating all these things. He created Rolf.
Was it the gnome with the hat?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Well.
And he destroyed a really awesome secret lair.
And this is Wizzy.
It's pleased to meet you.
I got a question.
That's quite enough of that.
Is not like is not in disguise, or is he just openly doppelganger?
No, he just looks like normal, like a nondescript human.
Wizzy.
Yes.
What was your last orders from? What were you doing here in Acadia?
Well, just doing adventuring business, trying to make money. We solved a few problems here and there. We found an old dwarven ruin in the mountains. We heard there was some Drawn Enterprises people. Apparently that was right.
So you've heard about these Drawn Enterprises as well?
Oh, yes. They hate us.
Other than what has happened here, what else have you learned from them?
Says, well, I do know that they try their best to drive Ack Inc. out of business, but as far as I know, they've never actually flat out murdered everyone.
Do you know where their headquarters is?
No, I have no idea. I heard something about a strange barge people had sighted far out in the water. It's huge floating ship.
Well, we have a ship.
We do.
We just need cannons.
Oh, that's wonderful.
We probably need a bigger ship.
What type? It's a galleon, right?
What kind of ship do we have?
It's a caravel.
It's
It's like a small galley.
Okay.
so like a merchant barge, like
Yeah.
Well,
Typically,
it doesn't have the big uprising with the fancy captain's quarters. Typical.
It has a forecastle and a quarterdeck. The two raised sections. It has 3 masts.
Okay.
I have the map here somewhere.
Well, we need to return back home.
We should.
To the manor and sort this all out.
So are you going to rest in Pescatoon, or are you just going to...
I insist we should spend the night here.
Yes.
At least we'll give Pip a chance to reunite.
Well, we'll head back to the inn and rest, and then head back in the morning.
Yep.
Okay.
And we can see. Do we know of any doctors in? Wizzy, you've been around here for a while. Do you know of any doctors here in Pescatoon?
So, no, this is just a little fishing village. They didn't have any doctors.
Okay, Wizzy, you're useless.
Says, oh.
Was
I'm
Wizzy
kidding, Wizzy, you're great.
What was Wizzy's job in Acquisitions Incorporated? What was his?
Please don't say decisionist.
I was a decisionist. Says he seems to have taken my coin too.
Oh no!
Wait, check for your coin.
I checked. Is it
It's
there?
it's still there.
Hey, he can borrow your coin if he needs it.
Nope. Wizzy. I'm the decisionist now.
Oh, great.
So you know. And my decision is that you are not the decisionist anymore, okay?
Oh, that makes sense. I don't know if I want to do this anymore. This is dangerous.
What, being Acquisitions Incorporated or being a decisionist?
Both, evidently.
What would you do?
Oh, maybe go back to Faerun. I don't know if I like it here.
You're welcome to come back to the manor with us.
For the time being.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. Yes, I could use some time.
Just don't eat any of our food.
You can pay for it.
I'll get a job, I guess. He kind of pats around. I don't have any money.
I'm kidding. We have a lovely
did you guys also take the keg robot?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Right
I will just shout out, just don't drink our coffee.
Yeah, it's just kind of trudging behind you. This happy little dwarf face.
We could make some money with the keg robot.
Is it infinite alcohol?
Wizzy will say, oh, yes, it does ferment beer and everything. It has 3 compartments. There's one for beer, there's one for oil, and one for acid.
Why acid?
Why acid?
Well, to attack.
Okay.
That makes sense. I mean,
Does it have?
I've been trying to work on Dunk for some sort of more offensive capabilities, but acid is a good choice.
Oh,
What if we combine Dunk and the keg robot? Could you do that, Hawthorne?
I'll need to write up some sketches. I like this. I like where this is going.
Yeah. So,
We
anyway.
could also put a cannon on the back of Dunk.
Yeah.
Roll damage.
Put a big 50 cal machine gun. Anyway, so you guys go back to Pescatoon, check into the inn. Is there anything you would like to do, or are you just kind of waiting around for Tulip to come to?
Yeah, I guess. We know what Pip is doing.
Yeah.
I'm waiting around.
Yeah. Isabel is thrilled to see all of you again. But she is very concerned when she sees the
There's some
unconscious
strange noises coming from the other room.
halfling. No, she definitely helps all of you guys. Helps get Tulip in a bed. Making food, drinks, everything. She's very concerned.
Thank you very much. We appreciate this.
She says, "Oh, it's my pleasure. I can't imagine all this stuff went on under our noses. I'm so sorry."
I will warn her that there's still 3 hellhounds in the tower, or 2. Do avoid going in the tower. 2nd level.
Say, "Oh, that's real good to know. Thank you. Maybe we can figure out some people to go up there, take care of them."
Apparently, the group decided not to. I mean, I have my fair share of fire experience trying to pet one of them. Not very nice.
So, after a while, Tulip eventually wakes up, and she looks very groggy, but when she sees Hawthorne, she kind of holds out her hand and is like, "Hey."
Hey, sis.
So I came to find you.
You really shouldn't have. Do you know the trouble you've caused us?
She says, "I can imagine, but I'm kind of good at it."
How did you end up here?
Well, I don't know if I didn't know when I got here if I beat you guys here or not. If I beat you here, I started asking around, and people said there's an Ink franchise at this lighthouse, and that they were all halflings and gnomes, and I thought, well, that's got to be him. And I showed up, and
it's a good try.
It was not you.
No, I think you beat us. We've only set up in the city for about a week.
So that's about how long I've been here. A week or 2.
Well, anyway, you may notice there's the scar on your neck. It seems that once you were captured, they were trying to turn you into a vampire.
Am I in the room as well?
That's kind of up to you guys. I don't know if you're all just kind of waiting around. So,
all right, I'm going to say it actually looks quite beautiful.
She kind of reaches up and touches it and flinches and recoils.
We had to do that in order to prevent the spread of the vampiric spell.
How do you feel?
So tired.
Why don't you get some rest?
Yeah, we'll be heading back to the city tomorrow.
That's a good idea.
In the morning.
I'm just glad you're okay. Dad was asking about you. He was worried.
She laughs a little bit. She says, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah. But I'm just glad you're okay.
You too. And she just rolls over and immediately goes to sleep. She snores like a bull.
Is it around noon or late night or anything yet?
Yeah, it's probably getting towards evening at this point.
I'll tell Hawthorne, you go ahead and go to bed. Okay. I'll stay up and watch her.
I really appreciate it, Aizen.
No problem.
Okay.
It's taken a lot out of me today.
I understand.
So, I think this is probably a good place to stop. Hey, this is the end of the first arc of the campaign. You guys figured out what was going on with this guy, with the undead, with the orrery. You found another piece of it. Found Tulip. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's kind of stressful.
I was expecting a lot more action, and you threw us for a loop there.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, when you're kind of confronted with something that you can't stop, it makes for some interesting choices. But
I thought we were going to have a legit boss. So
no, well, kind of. Maybe later. He's gone. So we'll leave you guys here in Pescatoon with your newly reunited family. And next time we have a special guest star. Our first guest star will be joining us. It's going to be fantastic.
It's John. No, I'm just.
John Cena! That's going to clip so hard. I'm sorry. But, yeah.
You could probably throw that in there.
So
that's is that to celebrate our 20th episode?
Yes, that will be our 20th episode and the beginning of the second arc of our campaign. And we'll have a guest star, start some new stuff. It's going to be cool. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We really appreciate it. Check out our Instagram, Charisma Check Podcast. Check out our Patreon. We're going to try real hard to get some new stuff up on there. Also, check out Found Familiar Coffee, who is one of our affiliates. We are currently all drinking Found Familiar Coffee. It's fantastic.
So good.
I've already drank it all.
And might I just say, they have some of the best customer service I've ever experienced. I ordered the coffee, and I did it actually on accident. I didn't mean to actually order the coffee until I used our promo code because I'm cheap.
Yes.
But they emailed me. It was like 9 o'clock at night, and they were emailing me back and forth to get everything figured out.
Yes.
And they were able to refund me. And then the very next day, I was actually able to use the promo code. They showed me how to do everything. They were great.
Yes, they're a fantastic company. They care very much about the whole hobby and D&D and artists. It's really great. If you go to their website and use our promo code, Charisma Check, all one word, you'll save 10% off your entire order.
Yep. They are definitely somebody you want to familiarize yourself with.
Yes. And we will see you guys next Wednesday.
Bye.
Goodbye.